Yeah, it was fun opening packs with you. All right. Yeah, good night.
Rudy from Alpha Investments. The man, the myth, the Florida legend. Sometimes lovingly referred to as the taco lord of the cardboard horde by mostly just me, maintains a staggering $100 million investment in shiny cardboard. Tens upon tens of millions of dollars in IPs such as Magic the Gathering and Pokémon. He supplements this ungodly horde with other less well-known IPs such as MetaZoo, Flesh and Blood, Healthy Ladies, or whatever he believes will make his evil investor heart happy. If you don't know, Rudy from Alpha Investments is a collector and investor in the collectibles space, running one of the most successful and oldest Patreon accounts of all time, selling to his patrons many of the sealed booster boxes that he gets from distribution at just under market price. Rumors have circulated online presuming that this confusingly balding yet hairy Florida man was born into old money. Other rumors assumed he dominated Wall Street in his early life, only to move to speculative cardboard investing in his later life. And actually, none of this is true. Come with me as we delve into the dark history of Rudy's past. What's going on, guys? My name is Riley, aka Pokemon Trader. I'm a collector and investor. I've been doing it for the past 12 years, since 2014 or so, and I've been doing it longer than 99% of other people in the space. So if you enjoy my content or you appreciate what I'm doing, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. It actually really does help. And I know for a fact that 95% of you are not subscribers. And if you're new here and you do subscribe, when I hit 1,000 subscribers, we are going to be ripping this Evolving Skies booster box live on this channel. So give me a like and subscribe. Rudy was born in the early 1980s in Florida, a traditional Florida man, growing up in a modest family with limited financial resources. And contrary to popular belief, his family doesn't own any Taco Bells and not even a single dishwasher repair company for stepsisters. His parents couldn't afford much growing up, and he often borrowed money, sometimes going into debt. He described himself in the early years as dead broke after high school, where he barely graduated with straight C's and D's, something I personally can relate to. During this time, he sold Magic the Gathering cards and candy just to make ends meet. He developed a passion for collectible cards early on, starting with Marvel cards like X-Men Fleer, before discovering Magic the Gathering in middle school around the year 1994 with the revised edition release. He played actively from 1994 to 2001 throughout high school, becoming, as he says, obsessed with it despite getting in trouble for it at school. He viewed himself as young, single, and stupid, making lots of mistakes. My AI research of Rudy would like to add, with personal challenges, including an ex-girlfriend that left him, contributing to feelings of being a, quote, loser. He enjoyed simple pleasures in life, like tacos, waffle fries, and chicken sandwiches. All of this can be seen on his rotund belly. He also enjoyed having a full head of hair with 17 more hairs back then. In his high school years going into college, he was influenced heavily by the Fast and Furious films, particularly the first three. Rudy was a car enthusiast, and after high school around 2002, he opted against traditional college and enrolled in an automotive school in Florida, sponsored by Chrysler, which he states covered 75% of his tuition. He graduated with an Associate of Science in Automotive Technology and earned an Automotive Service Excellence certification, seeing them as major achievements. He was on top of the world, that Rudy boy. He invested heavily in the tools for his trade, spending $10,000 to $20,000 on items like sockets, wrenches, and diagnostic equipment. Tools which he says he still owns to this day. Throughout this time, Rudy had taken a break from Magic the Gathering and other collectibles. Rudy began working as a technician at a 24-hour Chrysler dealership around 2003, starting at a whopping $15 per hour on a flat rate system, which was great for the time. He handled pre-delivery inspections for new cars and warranty work, but the pay was volatile. Good days could effectively yield $25 an hour, while bad ones left him with minimal earnings. He lived at home to save money, a little mama's boy, where he peaked at $23,000 in his savings, which made him feel loaded. However, this job led to health issues like anxiety and nausea, near daily panic attacks from dreading his early shifts, and after a mere 3 to 4 months, he quit his job abruptly, feeling betrayed by the career and blindsided by pay disparity. The dealership was understandably upset, as they had funded much of his education without a repayment clause. All the while during this period, Magic the Gathering took a backseat. Sets like Scourge and Odyssey were out, but he called it a crappy era when the game was dying. Post-quitting his job, he bought a revised booster box for $399, which is still unopened in his vault today. This marked the great Papa Rudy's re-entry back into the hobby. He reflected on this time as one of being lost and stupid, emphasizing how money provides choices even if it doesn't buy happiness. After his disillusionment from the automotive trade, he later attended college for finance and business despite his initial desire to become a professor, modeling his ultimate idol, Tulare Community College. While in school, he worked part-time in the service industry as a waiter and bartender, learning its ins and outs and servicing high-end customers. He would use his tips and earnings to buy graded Magic cards on eBay when they were undervalued in the early 2000s. By 2005, he began seeing Magic the Gathering as an investment and not just a collection. He had a keen eye for the undervalued opportunities that were abundant on the internet in those days, buying up items like PSA 10 Alpha IC manipulators for only $200. After college, Rudy entered the finance world around 2007 as a licensed broker advisor at Merrill Lynch, where he worked for 4 to 5 years as a registered representative. It was about this time that Rudy took his investing to the next level. Utilizing leverage in the form of 12-month 0% APR credit cards, which he states he was not proud of. He worked his way up to a respectable $150,000 in credit card debt. All the while, he held his Series 7 and Series 66 for securities compliance licenses, viewing them as essential for brokers. He was directly involved during the 2008 financial crisis at Merrill Lynch, witnessing the mortgage meltdown driven by subprime loans. During this time, banks like Countrywide exploited loosened standards from the 1990s, leading to massive bonuses for salespeople but foreclosures for the borrowers. The brokerage floor remained stable, no layoffs for our boy Rudy, but the clients began to panic with sell orders. The executives were insulated via tax-exempt bonds while everyday people suffered. Rudy blamed a yin and yang spiderweb of government policies, bank exploitation, and individual choices. Amid all of this, he continued collecting Magic the Gathering secretly, facing ridicule at work. And then came that fateful day. The day that made our cardboard lord Rudy from Alpha Investments. His finance position was canceled when Bank of America bought out his current employer. Bank of America was also the same bank he got all of his 0% credit cards from. And as it turns out, they disliked the fact that one of their brokers was up to his 12 hairs in credit card debt. So they fired him. Our little boy Rudy is now out of high school, quit out of the automotive industry, and now he's lost his dream job in the finance industry. He started out a young, little, weird, hairy Sasquatch boy and evolved into a big, weird, hairy Sasquatch man. All the while, Rudy continued living with his parents until the age of about 27 to 29, around the years 2010 to 2013. Around this time is when he bought his first home. Unfortunately, right at the same time that he also lost his finance position. He picked up a job working with his parents making ham and cheese and chicken salad sandwiches. A glorious job, starting his mornings at 2 a.m. working for the Navy bases around Northeast Florida, all the while working on alpha investments, buying on eBay, flipping video games like PlayStation 2 games and Pokémon cards. Rudy launches the Alpha Investments YouTube channel on August 22nd, 2013, but didn't really start making videos until 2016, when his friends and family encouraged him to start making videos. Initially, he started with a $20 tripod and a cell phone. No editing, just the one beautiful, ranting, rambling Rudy take. His channel focused primarily on Magic the Gathering as an investment, sealed products, market warnings, and personal stories in the finance industry. The channel grew unexpectedly to 32,000 subscribers by late 2016. Now he maintains over 400,000 subscribers, with thousands of videos to boot. He added a Patreon for support, not necessity, he says. It was shortly after Rudy started his YouTube channel that he delved heavily into the Pokemon space. The year is a bit hazy, but it was around 2018. This is the story of Rudy's Pokemon bathroom. Rudy bought large quantities of booster boxes, packs, collection boxes, etc. from the XY era, as well as Generations and Phantom Forces. He scooped up a bunch of product from distribution, hoping to sell it on the secondary market through his Patreon, only to find out that nobody wanted it. Frustrated with the modern Pokemon market at the time, he unceremoniously dumped the excess sealed product into one of his rarely used guest bathrooms. What started as a temporary pile grew into floor-to-ceiling stacks of boxes and cards lining the walls, toilets, and even the shower. He legitimately did this out of frustration. He wasn't just trying to do a meme. As time went on, he realized how good his investment really was, and how good the memes really could be. All of these loose packs that he ripped with his family in the hopes of selling them are now worth easily in the multiple tens of thousands of dollars. This has become one of the most beloved pieces of Alpha Investments lore. Proof that Rudy's empire includes not just vaults of vintage magic, but also an unconventional bathroom full of Pikachus and Charizards. It was around this time, the time he created his YouTube channel, that he had really started to see massive returns in some of his vintage Magic the Gathering holdings. Cards like his PSA-graded Alpha Black Lotuses and vintage sealed Magic booster boxes brought such a high return he was able to snowball his older investments into the massive hoard he stores today. Rudy has since built his business over 10 plus years on YouTube through reinvestment and expanding to other TCGs like Flesh and Blood and Pokémon. He maintains multiple high-level income sources: rental properties, high-yield dividends, stocks, Lego, and buying up late 1800s European art. And, of course, his pallets upon pallets of Magic the Gathering and Pokemon. His net worth is tied to all of these early, savvy investments. And while Rudy has never mentioned his exact net worth, based on things he's said in the past, we can assume it's pushing $100 million in total investments. Here are just some of the numbers to give you an idea of how much our Sasquatch King has in his 4-tiered basement. He has high-level holdings in items such as Evolving Skies booster boxes, where he stated in a 2025 video he still had approximately 600 booster boxes of this set left, most of which are still likely in cases. This comes to a whopping $1.7 million in Evolving Skies booster boxes alone. He holds somewhere north of 20,000 Hasbro shares, coming to $1.9 million. He also has a slew of rental properties, some of which he uses only to store mass amounts of his late 1800s European art, as well as, we already saw, some bathrooms full of Pokemon cards. Based on numbers he's given over the last years, he holds thousands of boxes of early Scarlet and Violet era booster boxes. One set that he talks about regularly, Paldea Evolved, also known as Mr. P, he still holds approximately 2,000 to 3,000 boxes, coming to a whopping $9 million in Mr. P alone. With hundreds to thousands of boxes for every other set going back to the XY era in Pokemon, we can easily assume his entire net worth is pushing $100 million. And that brings us to the Papa Rudy we know and love today. That's about it for the history of our boy Rudy. Peace.